Hi guys! So today's video is going to be all about my skin issue with eczema. If you have watched any of the videos that I've done prior or anything through Halloween this year, you'll notice that I have my sleeve like this and doing my makeup so that you can't see my hand. My hand is where I get my eczema the worst. So just a disclaimer, I'm about to give you a bunch of tips on how to alleviate, or how I alleviate my eczema. And it doesn't look the best right now, but I did that on purpose. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like when it's almost its worst, and then jump right into the things that I use to help it out. So, as you may or may not know, I am a licensed professional hairstylist, so I work full-time in a salon, which means that my hands are in hot water every single day, all day long. Now, I feel like this is a little bit of a contributor to my eczema, being that the hot water is a trigger. It's a little too much for my hand, and there are certain ingredients, which I'm not sure exactly which ingredients they are, in certain shampoos and conditioners that will make it have a flare-up. I know which shampoos and conditioners I can use and which ones I cannot. So I will go ahead and show you what my hand looks like. Okay, so it's right here mainly on my wrist. It's not as red and inflamed as it has been before. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, and I get it a little bit right in between my fingers here. Sometimes I'll get it right here, but today it's okay. And then I will get it a little bit kind of on my knuckles here, but right now it's not the worst that it's been. I have been to the dermatologist and she has confirmed that it is eczema. It's not psoriasis or anything, so I do have eczema. So it just gets really dry and really itchy and really inflamed. So one thing that I do to kind of help in advance is to take an allergy medication pill. So I do Allegra, and this kind of gets it in my system so that if I have something that kind of triggers it, it's not as bad as it could potentially be. So on days where it's like my absolute worst, I try very rarely to use this. I do have a steroid cream that my dermatologist prescribed to me, but I just don't like using any kind of steroid. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. So it's only on days where it's like nothing else is touching it and I really just need that relief. So I'll do that at night, and when I wake up in the morning, it's healed itself a little bit. So as far as showers go, I love a hot shower, especially now that we are getting into the winter, cooler months here. But as I've realized from my hand being in water all day, that hot water just isn't the best thing for me. So what I try to do is put the hot water on for when I first get in so that I get all warmed up, and then about 5 minutes after I'm in, I start to kind of cool the water down. By the time I get out, it's about a lukewarm, kind of cool shower, but it's actually nice because it's a little refreshing. And if you don't know, cool water will actually close down the cuticle of your hair and keep the moisture and the shine in your hair for a lot longer than if you just had a total hot shower from beginning to end. So I'm gonna insert a picture right now from about a year and a half, 2 years ago, when my legs were at its absolute worst. I had just patches of dry skin everywhere. I couldn't use fake tanners. I couldn't use anything like lotion-wise with a fragrance. I just couldn't do anything. So one of the things that really helped me out was the Dove Beauty Bar. This was recommended to me by my dermatologist, and I just go about my normal kind of shower routine, and I shave and everything, and at the very end, I just lather up with this, and it really helps to lock in the moisture. Then after I get out of the shower, I give myself a couple minutes to kind of dry off so that I'm not like dripping wet. And I also use my towel and pat my skin instead of like just rub it, because that's gonna do nothing but irritate it. So this is honestly my holy grail lotion. Nobody recommended this to me. I just kind of happened across it when I was at the drugstore one day. It is Curel's Itch Defense, and it is recognized by the National Eczema Association. So when I saw this little stamp on here, I said, what's the worst that could happen? My dermatologist told me to use CeraVe, but it wasn't doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So I just felt like I was still having that dry, patchy skin that I couldn't get rid of. So I picked this up, and it's a huge bottle. It costs about like $7 or $8 for this entire thing, and it'll last so long. So I do this at night before bed, and it is a little greasy, but it has to kind of sit on top of your skin so that it can absorb into it. And it also just kind of helps prevent future flare-ups. So this is honestly my favorite thing, and if they ever stop making it, I will cry actual tears. One more thing I wanted to mention for the shower is that about once or twice a month, I will go in with this Frank body scrub. Now, this has been like all over Instagram, and probably a lot of people think that it's just like an Instagram hype. I thought that, but I was like, what's the worst that can happen? So on their actual website, they talk about how this is geared toward like problematic skin as far as like acne, stretch marks, psoriasis, eczema. So I was like, okay, cool, sounds great. Basically all it is just natural ingredients such as coffee, brown sugar, sea salt, almond oil. If you like coffee, you'll love the smell. I'm not the world's biggest coffee fan, but I think that when it's mixed with everything else, it smells good. So I just do that like halfway through my shower, and I turn off the water, scrub all over, let it kind of dry, and then rinse it off, and then you're left with the oils to kind of sit on the top of your skin. So if I do that, I'll typically just kind of skip this step, and then I will finish up with my Curel. But that honestly is a godsend because it does help to just kind of exfoliate that dead skin that's on the top that makes it feel just so rough and dry. It does make it look a little red at first, and that's obviously because you're like scrubbing it, but it does soothe and it does help reduce the symptoms. So I hope that you guys found some of these tips a little helpful. If you have any suggestions for me, I would love to hear them because I'm always on the lookout for something new to help alleviate my eczema. It's an ongoing thing. Skin changes every couple years, so I'm hoping that eventually this will kind of tame itself down, but I know it doesn't completely go away. So I'm curious to know what you guys use. If there's anything great out there that you would recommend to me, just put it down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.